Postcard from Kashmir.
Kashmir shrinks in my mailbox, my home a neat 4x6 inches. I always loved neatness. Now I hold the half-inch Himalayas in my hand. This is home, and this the closest I'll ever be to home. When I return, the colors won't be so brilliant, the Jhelum's water so clean, so ultramarine, my love so overexposed. And my memory will be a little out of focus. In it, a giant negative, black and white, still undeveloped. Agha Shahid Ali, born in New Delhi, India, 1949. Ali grew up in Kashmir, and in 1975 he moved to the US and is now widely recognized as a Kashmiri American poet. A Postcard from Kashmir is from Shahid Ali's collection of poems titled The Half-Inch Himalayas. Shahid Ali is also noted for his other collections like A Walk Through the Yellow Pages, A Nostalgic Map of America, The Country Without a Post Office, Rooms Are Never Finished, etc. Agha Shahid Ali's poems are always marked by a sense of nostalgia and longing for the homeland. This obsession with the past memories, in fact, becomes a constant theme in the works of Shahid Ali. Shahid Ali was always preoccupied with his past in Kashmir, his homeland, and also what was unfolding there, particularly after 1900, disturbed him so much. The unforgettable memories of home and past, idealized in the form of obscure images, metaphors, and allusions, flow freely in Shahid Ali's poetry. Torn between his eternal love for the Kashmir of the past and a sense of horror at the existing political crisis, the poet documents in his poems the discord between a loving vision of home and its harsh actuality. Postcard from Kashmir is such a poem. The poem Postcard from Kashmir is all about his beloved homeland Kashmir that have now shrunken to a picture postcard dropped in his mailbox. Kashmir shrinks into my mailbox, my home a neat 4x6 inches. His vision of Kashmir has reduced to the size of a postcard of 4x6 inches. The word shrinks suggests that the real grandeur of Kashmir has diminished to the tiny, delicate picture printed on the postcard. The elegance and grandeur associated with Kashmir, his homeland, is something of the past, and he holds in his hand a minimized version of his homeland, a neat 4x6 inches. Mailbox is an American term for post box. I always loved neatness. Now I hold the half-inch Himalayas in my hand. The elegance of his homeland is suggested through the word neat or neatness and regular shape of the postcard. He loved neatness, and he now holds a neat image of his homeland in his hand. Loved is suggested or implied in the past tense, which means love or the neatness associated with his country, Kashmir, his homeland Kashmir, is something of the past. It can no longer be reclaimed. It is not that he is incapable of bringing the fondness and love associated with the Kashmir back in his mind, but physically Kashmir has lost its beauty, peace, and serenity. I always loved neatness. The neatness, the beauty, and peace associated with Kashmir is long lost. War-torn Kashmir is no longer as calm and as peaceful as it used to be. Now I hold the half-inch Himalayas in my hand. In his hand, he holds the tiny image of the massive mountain range. In fact, one of the most impressible, most acknowledged factor or feature of his homeland has thus now shrunken, minimized, and made to seem far less impressive and significant. The massive mountain range has been reduced to a small, tiny picture, and what he holds in his hand is a post-concise version of his homeland. This is home, and this the closest I'll ever be to home. When I return, the colors will be so brilliant, the Jalam's water so clean, so I'll return. This is home. Home is a place in one's mind, a place where one draws intimacy and affection. And now the poet, the image in the postcard brings in him the fondness of his homeland. However, he realizes it is only through this haptic memory alone that he can ever be in his homeland, ever experience, feel and touch his homeland. Even if he returns, the present-day Kashmir would nowhere be like the Kashmir he left long time back. When I return, the colors won't be so brilliant, the Jalam's water so clean, so ultramarine. Ultramarine is deep blue. The gleaming aura of Kashmir might have lost its resplendence. The fresh and pristine waters of Kashmir won't be as soothing and poised as it used to be. Maybe the author has in his mind the violence and bloodshed happening in Kashmir during that time, so overexposed. In the photographic parlance, overexposed means to be in light for too long a time. So the poet feels that his love is now like a photograph. His love towards his homeland is now like a photograph that is exposed too much to the public eye. Time and again, Kashmir comes into view in his mind's eye. He feels that his love towards his homeland is so overwhelming. Memories of one's homeland are conditioned by alienation, nostalgia, and loss. Ali in this poem shows how memories and pictures redeem for actually being in the homeland. Here, the reference is to a postcard which shows his understanding of homeland that has become shallow and incomplete over the years due to the ongoing conflict. Ali, however, remembers the bright side of the story, at the same time also acknowledges the present stark reality of Kashmir.